The next question type that we're going to explore is inference questions. Now, you may have your own definition of the word inference, but it means something very, very specific on the GRE. And to illustrate this, let me give you an example. Suppose that you're sleeping in your room one night and you hear the pitter-patter of water on the window. And the next morning you wake up, you go outside, and the ground is wet. What can you infer? Well, you might say that it rained, and that's a very reasonable guess. But can you be 100% sure that it rained? Is there any other plausible explanation for what happened? Maybe your neighbor's sprinkler went off and sprayed your window, or maybe someone's running around the neighborhood with a hose. All of these are very, very unlikely, but they're still possible. An inference is something that can definitely be concluded, something that must be 100% true. So on these question types, we're not looking for what's probably true or a reasonable guess. We're looking for what must be true based on what we've read in the passage. Now, how do we know we're dealing with an inference question? Well, sometimes it'll use the word inference, or what can be inferred. But other words that come up very often are words like this. The passage implies. Once again, it makes it sound like you're supposed to make a reasonable guess, but that's not what we're going for. We want something that must be true. Other words that come up, the passage suggests, or what would the author most likely agree with? Anytime you use would or could, or anytime the question uses would or could, it's probably an inference question. So go ahead and pause the video, read the passage, and give this question a shot. Keep in mind that it is a select all that apply question, and that means that 1, 2, or all 3 of these answers may be correct. Okay, let's take a look at this one together. The passage implies which of the following about the problems Ragwort poses to dairy farmers. Remember that this is an inference question, and that means the answer or answers that we choose have to be 100% true beyond any reasonable doubt, right? And we start with answer option A here. Milk produced by cows that eat ragwort causes illness in humans who drink it. Well, that's a pretty reasonable thing to say, right? I mean, I'm not an expert in bovine to human disease transmission, but if I drink milk from a cow that's sick, I'm probably going to get sick, won't I? Won't I? Well, I don't know is the thing, right? And nothing in this passage suggests that I will. So as reasonable as this sounds, I can't say for sure that it definitely will happen. And for that reason, it's not an inference I can make, right? Answer option A is not correct because we can't say for sure that it is true. It might not be true. There's a possibility that it's not true. Okay, answer option B. Ragwort can supplant the plants normally eaten by cattle. For the record, the word supplant means to replace. This answer option is correct, and here's why. Take a look at this word. One of the most powerful words that you'll see on the test, can. It's pretty weak, isn't it? Right? When you hear some pharmaceutical commercial, they say, this drug can cause XYZ. Why do they use that language? It's because they're covering their bases, right? They want to say something that is 100% true. And so by using this word can, we're leaving the possibility open in either direction. It might be true, but it might not be true. And that's why this word, along with words like might, could, may, possibly, right, are all very, very good words for inference questions, or I should say inference answer options. Just so we see where this is in the passage, right? Ragwort can supplant the plants normally eaten by cattle. Where does it suggest this? Well, it suggests it right here, right? It says livestock generally avoid grazing where ragwort is growing, but they will do so once it displaces, supplants, grass and clover in their pasture. This sentence tells us that it is a possibility, that it's possible for ragwort to supplant grass and clover. And for that reason, this is correct. Now, on the flip side, the words that we really don't like, maybe you can guess them. What's the opposite of can, might, could, possibly? Well, they're categorical words like must, all, every, no one, nothing, never, none, right? Those are extreme words that are very, very hard to prove. If I say something like all people love candy corn, right? In order to prove that, I would have to go to every person in the world and say, do you like candy corn? And get a yes from everybody. Whereas if I say some people like candy corn, all I have to do is find one person who likes it and game over, right? I've proven it. So can is a good word for inference questions. All, must, nothing, no one, all of those are bad. They're extreme. Okay, how about answer option C? Cattle, unlike sheep, are unable to differentiate between ragwort and healthy grazing. Well, once again, are we talking about something that could be true or must be true, right? To say that they're unable means that they are literally incapable of doing it under no circumstances. Does it say anything about their ability in here to differentiate? It doesn't. We can't get inside of a cow's head. We don't know what they're thinking. Maybe they are able to differentiate it, but they decide to eat it anyway, right? So C is another example of an answer that is too extreme to be proven true by the passage. The correct answer on this one is B.